It was so nice, I had to do it twice. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Faded Podcast. Hectic is in the building. I am in the building. We are here. And today we are discussing the curse. The curse that God gave man and the serpent specifically. But we're discussing the curse that was a part of the fall. The repercussions of the fall, the actions that follows the fall. Just try to eat breakfast. Now I'm coughing. Today is Friday. Yeah, today's Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to everybody listening. And I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your day's going well. Apparently mine is not. And thank you for joining in. Okay, so the curse is huge, right? Big deal. Got us kicked out of the Garden of Eden. And the world is still in the grips of the curse that fell on mankind, right? There's a lot of things that we did, and there's a lot that we lost. And we're going to talk about what God said would be the repercussions of us deciding to take it upon ourselves and listening to the serpent, right? The reason why I don't want to discuss and don't want to really dive into the woman's part of the curse is because that's really all I ever hear. You know what I mean? I always hear
it's a woman's fault.
I always hear it's the woman's fault. It's the woman's fault. Like, oh, women, don't trust women. Like, I've heard it in music. I've heard it in TV shows. I've heard it online. I'm good. I'm good on that. So today we're going to focus. We're going to pass through those scriptures, and I'm going to play all of it so that we can hear those scriptures. But we're specifically going to focus on what God said to the man and what God said to the serpent. And we'll start with the serpent and probably end on the man. Because I think that's the way that it's structured in the word. So let's go ahead and let's dive into that as soon as I can pull this up. I don't want to comment. How you feeling today, bro?
Blessed.
Feeling good? Blessed. Nice. I like it. All right.
We in here like swimwear.
True story.
Not a lot of people say that.
Story. Nah, that's us. That's us.
Yeah, that's us.
That's our thing.
Yeah.
That's definitely our thing. So right now I'm going to go ahead and play that. I'm going to go ahead and play it, and let's see if we can get it. I think I got it coming from the KJV. Yeah, it's coming from King James. All right. So this is the three curses that God handed out after mankind listened to the serpent and ate the fruit in the Garden of Eden right before we were kicked out.
And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
That is a bit of foreshadowing.
So basically, what God did was
What's up?
it. What I'm thinking that did the serpent have legs and arms,
Yeah,
and then he took it from.
that's what I'm thinking also. Yeah.
He's like, now you're gonna slither.
Now you're going to slither around.
Yeah.
Right. Now you're going to slither around, and this is going to be you for the rest of existence. So every serpent that came after that serpent ended up on its belly for the rest of its life.
Dang.
And not only that, the greatest part of that is that he says, I will put enmity between you and the woman.
And what is that?
enmity. I will put disagreement, strife. I will put discord between you and the woman.
Mm.
So it's a disagreement. It's not seeing eye to eye. It's hatred. It's anger. I will put this between you and the woman, specifically her seed, and you will bruise the heel of the seed, and the seed will bruise your head. I think I said that backwards. You'll
Okay, so
bruise
what?
the heel in it. So what it
What is?
means is the seed of the woman, the children of the woman, or the child of the woman, will crush the head of the serpent, and the serpent will bruise the heel of the person crushing it. So it's basically foreshadowing to Christ.
Hmm.
Satan tried to kill him, and it bruised him. It didn't kill him, it just bruised him.
Yeah.
But he crushes the head of the serpent. That's where we get victory from.
Heard.
So that's literally what God is saying. Like, God is saying a person is going to come and he's going to stop you. You're going to injure him. You're going to wound him, but he's going to stop you. That's what that is. And that is basic. That's the basic plan that God had since this happened. He already knew he was going to send Christ in. He already knew, like, he's just telling the serpent, like, you're going to have beef with them. They're going to have beef with you, and they're going to crush your head, and you're going to bruise their heel. And it's just the foreshadowing to Christ. It's what Christ will go through. He's going to be wounded for our transgressions. That's what the word says.
Hmm.
And he'll be buried, and he will rise again on the third day. He has victory.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild. Yeah.
and
God is literally putting it up front, like Christ is going to come and he's going to stomp you out.
yeah, that's
Like,
crazy.
you're going to be stopped. And this is back before Noah. This is back before, like, God destroys the world after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these things come into play.
Coming to play, so
Like,
Jesus can be
right,
born.
Moses, all of this,
Yeah.
Abraham, all of this. And God is like, I know what it's going to take to finally stop you. I'm going to have to send Jesus down, and he's going to stop you.
Yeah.
And this is before everything. This is before David and Goliath. This is before the flood. This is before,
Yep.
Abraham even goes to sacrifice Isaac. This is before all of that. God is like, I already see the end, and I know what it's going to take. So I'm telling you now, you're going to roam free for a bit. You're going to do your damage. Then Christ is going to come in, and he's going to shut it down. And that's the best part of the whole curse, which you probably would never hear anybody say that phrase ever again.
Mm.
That's the best part of the whole curse. No, like, curses are supposed to be bad, and for the serpent, this is the worst one. But for us, it's automatically, like, he says that before he tells us what our portion of the curse is. He says that, and it automatically means redemption for us because we just messed up. So he's already thinking way ahead. He's already trying to save us way ahead.
Yep.
Of anything that comes along, anything that happened. He's already thinking, like, yo, I need to redeem them, and this is how it's going to happen. The road there, obviously, is going to take years upon years upon years upon years. Because remember, Abraham, these dudes, like, Old Testament, very old, beginning Old Testament, they lived hundreds of years. So this is going to take a while. This is going to take a while. And during that time, God uses that time to show us that we need this. He's going to give us opportunity after opportunity to do the right thing. And he's going to say, okay, like, I gave you those chances. I need to show you that you need my assistance. You need me to come down, and you need me to fix it.
Yeah. Basically.
So let's dive into the rest of this, because there are two more parts. The woman's part, we're gonna kind of just steamroll through, but Adam's part, the last part, we're gonna go ahead and talk about that. All right.
Heard that.
Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Pain in childbirth, right? Pain in childbirth. And then your desire shall be towards your husband. You shall want your husband. Your desire shall be towards him. You will want a husband, and he shall rule over thee. He shall be the head of the home. He should be the one that, because what has happened, if you look at what happened in the garden and where this is like contextually coming from, Eve took it upon herself to bring something to Adam that God said she shouldn't.
Right.
So now he's saying your husband is going to be the one that's supposed to be over you. He's saying that your husband is the one that's supposed to be in charge. He's going to be the head of the house.
Supposed to be.
And because at the beginning, think about it. At the beginning, it was both of them and they were one.
Yeah, they were one.
There was no head of the household. It was two. It was two that became one, and both of their word was one word. They were joined together in being the head of the household. And now he's like, okay, so now I'm going to put the man in charge, and it's going to be up to him what the house does. So if the man falls, the house falls.
Right.
And now we get into what the curse really entails for here going forward, because you notice, well, I'll bring this up afterwards. All right, so let's jump into what he says to Adam.
And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also, and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return.
Yeah.
Now, you automatically get the sense that Adam messed up, like heavy, because God didn't just say, okay, you're gonna have a hard life. Like, he cursed the ground, he cursed the earth, because Adam did something that God told him specifically not to. And because the woman was taken from him, it wasn't on her to adhere to what God was saying. Right?
Yeah.
He said, hey, don't eat the tree. But who was he really talking to? He was talking to Adam. He's like, this is not what you do. Don't eat the tree.
So basically,
Adam,
he knew she was going to do it. But
well, see, even if she did do it, you know what I'm saying? Like, she wasn't the one that God was really looking at.
But right, but I feel like God was like,
knew.
That's why he told him specifically. He was like, you don't.
Like, do not eat this tree.
So basically, listen to me. I know this. I know this is gonna happen. Listen to me. Don't do it. And
just like Samson.
Yeah,
we talked about that. Yeah, just like Samson. Yeah, just like us on a regular basis. Listen to me.
Listen to me.
Not everything around you. And you notice there's huge distinctions in the curses, because the curse that he gave Eve pertained to just her.
Right.
And then it went from her to bruising the heel of the serpent. Adam got cursed. And he says,
the whole world you walk in.
The whole world. The earth is cursed. The whole earth is cursed. He said, you'll eat from the ground all the days of your life. He said, thorns and thistles will be there also. Like, the earth will bear, like, it'll be hard for you to do this. You'll have to toil when you work.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's where the thorns and thistles come from. Because they're already tending to the ground. Now they're going to have to deal with thorns and thistles. And then he says, the sweat of your brow. You know what I'm saying? And now, he said, the herb of the field, you're going to have to eat all the days of your life. You're going to eat bread for the rest of, like this is, like, he's going through all of this just to let Adam know, like, you were the one I was expecting to do the most.
Yeah, so you're going to get the most.
I trusted you with Eve. Right. I trusted you with Eve, and you were supposed to listen. And because you did not, everything is drowned out now.
So basically,
You changed everything.
Eve messes up, and we were supposed to be like, no.
Yes.
No. God
when
said.
she brought us the fruit.
Right. So if we would have been like,
Right.
nah, God said, and she would have been like, oh, okay.
Boom.
And everything would have been.
And the curse would have stopped.
Yeah.
The curse would have stopped there. And who knows what God would have done. He could have made Adam another wife easily. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he
could have made atonement for her.
But she sinned. She
sinned. He could have made atonement for her. You know, on Adam. You know, Adam probably would have jumped in and be like, you know, Lord, please spare her. You know, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And God could have made some kind of atonement for her, and it would have been done. But since Adam fell, the reason why it's so severe on Adam is because out of Adam all life came, all other humans came.
Yeah.
Without Adam, there would be nothing else. Like if Adam wasn't Adam, there would be no other humans after that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Adam carries the ingredients. She carries the seed. If the seed is never fertilized, there is nothing more.
There's nothing more, right?
Because Eve came out. It would be different if God created them both at the same time. Then they would both have, you know, responsibility. Then God would probably have just destroyed Eve and made a whole nother wife for Adam. Since Adam came first and God was walking through, you know, the garden with him, they named the animals, you know what I'm saying? And they get to this point where Eve is created and Eve comes out of Adam. Adam is still the one holding all the responsibility of listening.
Yeah, most definitely.
So God's like, because you didn't do this, like you can even hear it at the beginning when the reader is reading it. I love like the depth of his tone. It goes further in on Adam because Adam, the severity on Adam is like way heavier. Not saying that Eve didn't get, you know, her portion of the curse, but the entire earth was cursed because of Adam. You know what I'm saying? Like now we have to toil when we work because of Adam. Work is going to become harder for us. So God was really looking for Adam to be like, you know what? I'm not going to eat that. I'm not going to eat that because God said no.
Right. But when you really think about it, it's like it is her fault. But it's our fault too because we didn't listen. We should have known better.
Yeah.
We should have known better.
Like, yeah, I mean, she did what she did.
Yeah, she did what she did.
There's no denying that.
Right.
She did what she did.
But we
could have been like, nah.
Right. Like everyday life.
Yeah, I'm not
doing that. But we do it.
But because we said, yeah, you know,
and that's why like I don't. That's why I don't judge that scenario that happened. I don't judge it because I'm not any better.
Right.
I'm just not any better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I tell people this all the time. Every time you make a bad choice, you're back in the garden.
You're back in the garden. Yeah, you're back in the garden.
Back in the garden deciding. You're back in the garden with a fruit in your hand and God's wisdom on the other hand. You can choose. You choose to do this. You felt like this was the right choice for you. You emotionally, listening to the internal stuff, the guts and the organs, you wanted to go ahead and do this.
Like even when you were told, like it'd be different if we weren't told. Right. I feel like if we weren't told and we did it, then it'd be like, okay, you made a mistake.
Right.
I got you. But
right. And
we were told.
Man,
we were told.
The sad part is we really don't understand how often we do this.
Every day?
We really don't understand how often we do this. Like alcohol. It's alcohol. It is literally a poison. And we drink it. We drink it because we want to be thrown off tilt. Like our bodies will be thrown off tilt if we drink enough of this. It is not meant for consumption, and yet we consume it. And it throws us off tilt. And now you got people out here drinking and driving. You got people out here doing things and blaming, you know, the alcoholic content in their blood. Like, you're not supposed to be drinking this stuff.
Right.
And yet you make the choice and you do it. Same thing with cigarettes.
Right.
God bless all the smokers out there. Like, you guys, please kick the habit if you can.
Bam! It's even
because it's
what's
literally
crazy,
killing you.
right? And but nowadays, like I don't know back in the days when cigarettes first started, but
Mm-hmm.
you look in the box, it tells you.
It tells you,
yo, this will give you cancer.
Hey,
this will mostly give you cancer.
Yeah, and then the funny thing is, this is cancer you can share with people. Yeah. That's how awesome cigarettes is. Yeah. Like, you can be standing in a group of people and you smoke around people enough, they'll catch it too. Mm-hmm. Just by inhaling the smoke. Mm-hmm. They don't even have to put the cigarette to their lips. They don't have to spend the money. They can die right along with you. And it's crazy because people continue to do it. And it's like, why?
Because it's an addiction.
Why are you doing this
it's an
to
addiction.
yourself? Exactly.
That addiction
but it's
crazy.
Also a choice.
Right.
It's also a choice. If you know in your head this is bad, but first thing you should do is immediately go to take steps. Like, try to do something.
Right.
And God bless the ones that are trying. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys get off of
it. And for the most part, you can't do it by yourself.
No, you can't.
You can't. Like somebody who does crack, you can't. You
have to help.
Yeah,
them. They need it.
The chances of a person getting off crack by themselves is wild. Hey, if you can do it, listen, you're crazy. If you could do that, you could. I think you could overcome everything.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Because like if you're very addicted into crack, like somebody has to lock you up and tie you down, mm-hmm. and because I've never done crack. I've never done crack, right. But I know for a fact that's not.
Yeah, because your body builds a dependency on it.
Yes.
So now it's like not breathing to you.
Right.
You gotta breathe. You gotta drink water. Yep, what I'm saying? You need fluids. It becomes that necessary to your body. And it literally has you locking yourself up, strapping yourself down, and just warring it out.
Yeah.
Going to a hospital and having them help you. Like,
and that's a lot.
It literally it takes that.
And these days, like, people are like, they're really, really independent. Like they don't like asking for help. Nope, and I know because I was like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and that's how we lose.
Yeah, that's
how we lose.
Man. We it's proven you cannot do things yourself. Yeah. You could try, and in your head you might think you're like, I got this, but you don't.
Yeah, but you don't.
And I think that's the trick. That's what gets you. That's what gets you. And I really believe that's the devil's work right there.
Of course.
That's the devil's work.
Of course.
Because yeah.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because to be honest with you, I knew a long time ago that God was like, you need me. You can't do it yourself.
Right.
And I didn't, and you know what I'm saying? I didn't listen. I'm like, no, I got this. Yeah. But when I look back, no, I never got it, not one time. Right. There was never a time in my life when I look back and I'm like, I had that. No, you didn't.
Nah.
You thought you did. Nah. You thought you did.
Right.
That's what you want to believe. You want to believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you believe something, when you believe in something, when you believe in something like 100%, which that's what I did. I believed it, and then that blinds you. You're like, I got this. And then once you realize you never had it, it's crazy, man.
That reminds me of something. You remember the first Ninja Turtles movie?
Yeah.
Where Raphael was on the roof by himself.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think he was listening to music or something. And
they jumped him.
And he didn't hear the foot.
Yeah.
And they jumped him.
He was like, I got this. And then
he's like, I got this.
And then like a lot of them popped up. And he was like,
he's like, I don't got this.
He said, good answer. Good answer. He said,
I don't know why that popped up in my head, but that immediately.
Because he started beating him up. He was beating him up. He was like, come on.
Yeah, he was getting him.
Come on. How you think you guys going to beat me? And then like, man, them jumped out.
They all
He was like, good answer.
And it's like, all right, right.
Good answer. Good answer. Yes, I can dig it. No, I can dig that.
That's the perfect example. And all of that ties in to the sin.
That's why
that we
that's
encounter.
why there was 4 turtles. You need the 4 turtles. You put them together.
You need it.
Yeah.
Right.
or
You
turtle.
need that backup, because trying to do it on your own, it's just not going to work
No,
out.
it's not, man. Please
It's
trust.
not going to work
Please,
out.
ladies and gentlemen, trust me. Trust me. I'm I'm not. I was that
Yeah.
person. I was that person.
Right. And most of them are that person.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I was
saying? They
definitely
already
that person.
they're seeing it. You know what I'm saying? And we have to lean on others. Like, you can find that everywhere in scripture, where when we try to do it ourselves, it doesn't work. Or even this, the I think this is an even bigger lie, because it'll work sometimes.
What'll work
Like,
sometimes.
you'll get it, and you'll whatever the situation will be, like, oh, I quit, and you'll quit for a while and you'll be good. And the lie is reinforced. Like, that first lie, oh, I got this, is reinforced in the fact that, oh, this is working.
Right.
And you'll go on and you'll be like, you know what? I had it. I got this. This is working.
Nah.
This is good. And then you turn around, you hit that corner, and something pulls you so far back in that you're like, you know what? I'm not even going to try anymore. This is just where it is.
Right. And that's happened to me recently. So yeah.
And it's happened to everybody.
Yeah.
Man. I can tell you that for a
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
It's happened to me too.
But
Like, we all are struggling with something, multiple things, and one way or another we find ourselves. You're back in the garden.
Yep.
You're back holding that fruit, and the serpent is like, you'll be fine. The serpent is like, oh, God will forgive you, which is truth. That's how he gets you most of the time. It's like, oh, don't worry about it. God will forgive you. That's true. God will forgive
You
you.
will. But
But the
you
whole
still
point
gotta
is to avoid the
right.
sin.
And you remember, you're still gonna answer to that.
You're whatever the
still gonna answer to
consequences
that.
come from it, you're still gonna have those consequences.
Yeah, you're still gonna
But
have those
God is not gonna
consequences.
spare you that.
Right. Right.
So if you're doing something that's detrimental to yourself and to somebody else, it's still gonna bite you in the foot.
Yep.
Like, it's still gonna come back and kick you in the teeth.
Yes, sir.
You have to be aware of that. Like, that is a major key. Like, you have to be aware that sin is not just a one-player game. You know what I'm saying? It's not just going to affect you. It'll affect other people. Even sin that you do and commit towards yourself. Let's say you have a porn addiction, but you're supposed to meet your wife somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It'll bring an argument where there was no argument, and then it'll start conversations that'll lead to your relationship being in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Just because you were doing something you shouldn't have.
Right.
Right? You'll be late to whatever. That'll start the argument. And then all Satan has to do is come in between you two, which he's done. And now it's putting you in a place where y'all don't even see eye to eye no more.
Right.
Like, y'all have had a good week, and now she doesn't trust you with your phone. What else are you doing with your phone? Who else are you doing anything else on your, like, all of this stuff arose because the sin that your sin of choice led you there, and you fell into it. Our whole objective is to try and, like, steer clear of this stuff, because sin does not, like, it'll poison anything you put it into.
Right.
It will touch it, and it will poison. Like, you cannot take soap out of water once soap has hit water.
Right. That is correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't like, once that soap has hit that water and it's in there, you can't just pour a little of the water out and the soap is gone. It's in there. Like, that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's exactly how sin is. Once it hits that moment in your life, it'll corrupt everything it can touch.
Yeah.
Everything it can touch. That's why I said in one of the podcasts we just did, when I fall, I immediately turn to God. I immediately run to him.
Yeah, me too.
Because I don't want it to touch anything else. I don't want it to pollute anything else. When I mess up, I go straight to God.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
As foolish as I feel, as ugly and as dirty as I feel, I go straight to him. I explain what I've done. I ask for that forgiveness, and then I get up. I get up and I at least stand upright. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first step for me is just going to God and getting back on my feet. I don't have to move, but as long as I'm standing up, then there are options. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, being face first in the dirt, is just not the way to be, because God might have to use you. Like there might be a situation that something might happen and you might have to do something. You want to be a proper representative, stand up, brush the dirt off, and be in position and be ready. And then you can move forward.
Yep.
But yeah, God cursed the entire earth. And to this day, the earth is still cursed.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Even in the word, the Bible says the earth groans.
You see me, I figured that out a minute ago.
Right. Yeah. The earth groans and it's waiting. The earth is waiting for the time that everything will be set back to when it was in the garden. You can find that in the scripts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So,
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Like sin is just it's an all-encompassing, all-consuming kind of thing. And it'll burn anything that comes near it. It'll burn anything and everything that gets close. You can find, I got it right here. Romans 8, 22 and 23. Verse 22 says, For we know that the whole of creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. Verse 23 says, And not only they, but ourselves also, which we have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of the body. So the earth is waiting for redemption, and we, our spirits, are groaning inside our bodies, waiting for redemption, that adoption into God through Christ. We're all waiting for that. And when that, like, the adoption has happened, but the earth is still cursed. And so we need to, well, it's happened in a sense because Christ has already died. But in Romans, they're referring to that moment when we're caught up with Christ and we are one with him, like in spirit, like fully. That's what this verse is referring to. Because, Christ's death, because of his death, believing in him, we are now sons and daughters of God.
Yeah.
So the adoption, that process has happened. But as far as us being full and whole, that's not going to happen until Jesus comes back. That's not going to happen until, that sky cracks open and, the Lord comes through the clouds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But Adam took us to a place where we really didn't want to go. But the funny thing is, we would have all made the same choice.
Yes, we all would have. Yep.
We would have all made the same choice.
I believe that 100%.
Right. I like to think that in some form or fashion, it would have been tempting to us in our own way.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like the serpent would have come with that knowledge, and he would have hit all of us individually. Like, oh, you like this, so I'll word it this way, so that you go for it.
Yep.
And we all would have fell, because we're all the same. We're all the same. We're all built on desire. We're all built on urges. We're all built in mind the same way. We might not use it the same way.
So the serpent was the devil, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, he's a ship-shaping kind of, more from X-Men. I want to be a toaster. Tomorrow I'm going to be, your next door neighbor kind of. Yeah. He can influence. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can't create and destroy, but he can manipulate. And that's what he does. Like the Bible says, he paces back and forth like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour.
Yeah.
This dude is on job all the time.
Yeah, 24/7.
Like he don't have to sleep. He don't have to eat. He can be on this side of the world, and then he can flip and be on that side of the world. He is the prince of the air. He can be wherever he needs to be. He can influence. I believe he spends most of his time influencing governmental decisions.
All day, every day.
He's not down the street, messing with your mama. He's he's over here whispering in Biden's ear, whispering in Trump's
Well,
ear,
if he can
whispering
do
in
something
Putin's
where it's
ear.
like massively effective.
Yeah. The mass impact is what he wants. He wants to drag people down. Like if I can if you put yourself mentally in his shoes, how would you destroy the human race? And that's probably the route that he's taking. Except his route is more thought out because he can see in closed rooms where you can't see. He can be in that Oval Office when the doors are closed and all the mics are
Oh
off.
yeah, yeah.
So he knows things that we don't know. That gives him insight on people. You know what I'm saying? So he has that as a weapon. He can use it. It says, oh, the U.S. is sending a drone over here. Go out there and knock it down. Putin sends planes out there and knocks it down. Starts World War III. Okay.
Boom.
Now a bunch of people are gonna die. He's happy.
Yeah, he's happy. He's done.
I'm good with that. I don't have to mess with them because now their egos are gonna trip over each other. Let them do their thing. He'll sit, drink your alcohol, and he'll watch as the destruction happens. And he'll be like, all right, this is cool. I'm gonna go do something else. Let me tear up, let me go over here and tear up something else. What's happening over here in China?
These people are happy over here. Let me
like, all right, yeah, happy customers, right? Happy customers, satisfied. Boom. Let me go over here to China. Let me disrupt some things over here. He's cool with whoever he takes, bro. If he can take you down, he'll take you down, and he's cool with it. He's like, yo, we both going to die. I would if I see a show and they depict him that way, as this dude who just has nothing to lose, and it's like I want both of us to burn. I can picture him sitting there in a I don't like he's sitting with the president of the show or whatever, like whoever the president, the actor is they pick, and he's just like, I want both of us to burn. I think we both deserve that. Like, you want to come with me? Like, I was like, what are you talking about? I think we should both go. I think we should both experience this. I don't want to do this alone.
Yeah, because if you
think about it, hell alone. Let me.
If you really think about it, like we're gonna like he's a person he's gonna live forever.
Right. He has immortality.
Yeah. So
he's not going until God puts him. You know what I'm saying? So until God puts him in the dirt, or in his case, in hell, until God puts him in the fire, he's roaming, and that's what his job is. And what was the Usual Suspects? You remember that movie?
Yes.
The greatest trick that the devil ever pulled is convincing the world he didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a bunch of y'all already. He's cool with you,
and it's crazy because he doesn't need you to believe in him. Like he doesn't but God does.
Yeah, that's the wild part. All the qualifiers. God does. All of the qualifiers for being on his team are things you probably didn't even consider.
Yeah. He don't need
right. You just
like you chose him and you don't even know. You chose him and you don't even know it.
It's like, that's one for me. You don't believe in God? You don't believe in Yahweh? Okay, that's one for me.
Yeah,
because he just needs you to not do this.
All he needs you to do is not believe in God.
That's it.
That's it.
And you're good. You're in.
You're good. Next person.
You are in. You are a part of the fan club.
Yeah. Next.
Regardless of whether you believe you're you know what I'm saying? You're okay. Boom.
Yo, that's so crazy when I figured that out. When I figured that out, I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Absolutely. That's all he needs.
That's insane. That's all he needs.
Yeah, that's all he needs.
Yo, so he has, and it's crazy because he has so many people.
Yeah.
He has so many, and that's why it says in the Bible, the road to hell is wide. And the road to
wide.
Yeah, it's wide.
Yeah.
It's like thousands of people going there.
Straight is the gate. Straight is the gate, and narrow is the path that leads to righteousness.
That's crazy, fam. Yo, I'm sorry, wild, fam. Man. That like the Bible. I don't know, man. I think people need to read the Bible and read it. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how people. Because I don't consider myself a very smart person. There's some most of the time, I'll read something and I don't get it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why me,
Yeah.
I was a very bad test taker.
Right.
I was
I'm a bad
not a
test
good
taker.
test taker, especially when it comes to reading.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
because I'll read something, and when it comes to the questions, I'm like, oh man. And I try to go back to that one part where the question's asking me, and I'm like,
Right.
But for
Yeah.
some reason, I get the Bible, like I get it, I get it, and the Bible is like very kind of hard to understand, kind of,
That's the
because
spirit.
everything is
I believe
heard.
that's the spirit. I
It's,
believe
yeah, that's crazy to me.
because
That's crazy.
the Bible tells you that this is foolishness to those who don't believe, but because you believe, it's being made plain to you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's what we believe,
And that's what
and the word
like,
says it.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's like,
that's what we stand on.
I don't understand the people that be like, yo, the Bible contradicts itself. I have not listen, and I'm not even out to that part where I'm on the stories,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I read. You know what I'm saying? I listen. Like there's certain, like, especially when I read, when I do church, and
Mm-hmm.
they got their verse, and then you're listening to it, and it makes sense.
Right.
It makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes sense. So I know when I get to that part where, it's God talking and Jesus talking, and the stuff that they say, it makes sense, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It does.
Mm-hmm.
Like even though I don't know a lot about the Bible yet, I will fight somebody for it. Not physically. Like I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then there's people that, like, they take the words and they flip it and try to make up
Yeah,
a story that's, I'm like, nah, fam.
yeah,
Nah.
yeah.
I'm fully 100% convinced you're not gonna change my mind. You're just
Right,
not. So
right. It's like that story I sent you. I think it was Wednesday, Thursday, one of those days, where the progressive pastor he calls himself a
yeah, he's
pastor.
wilding. He's
Yeah, he's
wilding.
like, oh, porn is a gift from God, and I'm like, fam, porn is
Yeah,
not a gift
I
from
have
God.
yeah, he was sitting there, he was like, I have friends that are porn stars, and I'm like, you wilding.
Yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, and it's a gift, and it should be. I was like, no, man. Porn is one of the biggest stumbling blocks in the history of stumbling blocks. Why would you believe? And then if it was a gift from God, it wouldn't cause you to sin. It wouldn't be considered a sin.
Right.
It wouldn't be sexually immoral. You know what I'm
But see,
saying? But
I think he like I said, he's taking it the wrong way, because
he is. He is.
I
Because sex is something that God created. That's
right,
true.
he created it, and it's for when you're married. So
Right.
it's two people
That's the
become one,
biggest thing that he's
and they
forgetting.
become
Right.
one with God, and then now,
Yes.
that's why you got, multiply.
Yeah.
You create a family, you multiply. They do the same thing,
Right.
and that's how
Right.
life keeps going.
Yes.
But you're not supposed to be
God
sitting
was the
here
first
like
that
I think, okay, like I think it's wrong to, like, let's say there's a married couple, and then they start
Mhm.
making videos and putting it on a porn website. That's wrong.
Yeah, I think
That's
that's wrong
wrong.
too.
That's wrong. You're not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
So
No.
yeah, you're married, and you guys are together, and you guys are, but that's something between the two of you. You don't have
Right.
to. That's not.
Do
You know what I'm saying?
you know why?
Because that messes other people up.
You're right.
It's lust.
That's
So
the
other
answer.
people,
That's the
so other
answer.
people are
Right.
watching
It
you,
creates
and it's
lust.
lust. So that's a sin.
Exactly. So not only are they seeing you with your wife, which is outside of the bedroom stuff, but you're creating a stumbling block for them, and now they're desiring things out of, so it's basically you're basically allowing people to commit adultery.
Right.
You're basically
Yes.
giving them a reason and a cause to commit adultery, because now they're going to see your wife and be like, yo, I want a wife like that.
Right.
I wish I was with her. and now he or she is committing adultery.
Exactly.
So you're causing other people to stumble, and in causing other people to stumble, the sin becomes bigger. So now it's starting to taint other people's
Right.
lives, and not just your own.
That's a lot that people don't realize too, is that you're making people commit sin, and that's worse.
Yeah,
because you're damning them.
that's way worse.
Yeah, you're
Yep.
you're damning them. Like that's like,
Be-
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
their eternity is now in jeopardy.
Because
if they were to have a heart attack during this,
right,
you know what I'm saying, or go outside and get hit by a bus,
right,
God forbid,
yep.
Then their eternity is now hinged on the last thing that
and it's your fault
they did and the life that they lived, and it's
your fault.
It stems from you doing your videos and putting them
right.
out, thinking, oh, we're married, we're good now. The Bible says we're good now.
Nah, man.
The Bible says you're good for each other,
right?
Not good for the world.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's
so porn is not a gift from God. Sex is. But that's the thing,
doing
right?
it the right way.
That's the ultimate thing, right? That's the ultimate thing, is that Satan can't create anything on his own, but he will take everything that he can around him, distort it and twist it and bend it in all kinds of ways.
And it's so easy for him to do that, just because
it's easy
because the way we are,
because we already have desires, we already have the urges, we have the building blocks for this stuff. All he has to do is twist it.
That's it.
He twisted a little, and now we're dressing like freaking Furbies. And we're running around in a field dressed as Furbies or Teletubbies. We're dressed as Teletubbies, and we want to be Teletubbies now. Now we're Teletubbies. Just keep on twisting. Okay, you go from there. Now we're sleeping with our pets. And you just keep twisting, and it just keeps perverting itself and getting worse and worse and worse and worse until we can't even fathom the things that are on the end of that scale. But it's getting worse. And that's all it's been doing since the start of time, since we've been in this game of trying to get to the finish. It's been perverting itself even further. And now it's going even further out. Now we have people believing that they're babies. People, identifying as inanimate objects, werewolves. Like, why? Because we've taken something and been lax with it. God gave us dominion over something, and we've been lax with it. And Satan said, okay, I can use this to break them. And he used it, and we gave in to what we feel is good, and he broke us.
And then people find a way to blame God about it.
Yeah, and that's the ugly part about it. That's the ugly part about it. They'll turn right back around and, well, God knew this was going to happen, so he should have stopped it.
So basically, people get mad at God for giving them free will.
Pretty much.
But they love the free will.
But they love the free will.
Because they use it.
They love the choice.
They use it.
Yeah, they love the ability to choose under God's
sky.
It's my choice.
Right. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You can't.
They love the ability to choose.
You either like it or you don't like it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have both. Right. Like, you can't be like, but you twist it into your own, however you want to do it.
And then they take it even further by looking at the free will of the country itself and putting those blames on God also.
Yeah.
Like, God gave you free will of choice. You can do whatever you want with your life. If you want to go out, build you a log cabin in the middle of nowhere and live there, you can do that. You can live off the land. You can do that. That is your prerogative. As a human being, you can do that. You have the right to. But do not be mad because now the government's trying to infringe on your right for keeping your guns, for example. The government's like, all right, we're going to take all the guns from you. Don't blame God for those issues of free will and say, oh, we don't have free will. God's not, because we can't even own these guns. No, your government is now doing, like,
I remember the government is, I'm sorry, the government is, they're ran by evil.
Yeah.
Whether you, but they trick you. They'd be like, oh, we're going to do this for you and this for you and this for you. It's when you really think about it, it's not really for you.
You know what's wild about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's wild about that as a whole? Those seats of power were established by God.
Yeah.
The seats of power were established. Like, the seat of the presidency over the United States was established and ordained by God. Like God wanted somebody to run the country so that we could have laws.
Mm-hmm.
So he allowed that to be a thing that came
But
about.
then we took that.
What he didn't allow is us taking it and having, military secrets and governmental conspiracies and all this extra stuff and stealing money from XYZ and blaming and all this extra stuff that people be doing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
All that extra stuff where they corrupt their power and they do stuff behind the scenes, that's not a part of. But the Bible tells you clearly that governmental structure was put in place so that we can have laws and we can abide by those laws and they can keep us safe as people.
Yeah. But
like God wanted that hierarchy to be built so that we could have it. But then
the devil came in and twisted that up.
And then he decided to make him a fruit salad out of all of it.
He said a fruit salad.
He just added more nuts than. Yeah, he just added a lot of nuts.
Yeah, and they put some raisins in there.
Now we got a lot of crazy people running around.
Like raisins.
Right. Oh Lord. Yeah. Yep. Put some olives in there. Just,
wait a minute.
Just in a fruit salad. Now this is just a fruit salad. This is supposed to be all fruit, but no, we got olives, we got raisins, we got almonds,
and people are okay with it.
Just just to shake it up, and people are okay with it. Yeah, absolutely, people are totally okay with it.
So crazy, man. This world is crazy.
It's wild.
I wish people would like just realize, because I feel like people realize, but not the whole thing. They just want to realize what they you know what I mean?
Yeah, what their political party says and what their favorite politician that they got a flag for says, and what their their liberal whoever says. Me personally, I don't like politics at all.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I'm not a fan of either side.
But I'm gonna respect it because that's what I'm told to.
Yeah, because you're supposed to. You're supposed to respect the seats. You're supposed to respect these offices. Yeah. Absolutely.
Listen, anything that God made, I'm gonna respect it. I'm gonna try to.
That's right.
But I know it's corrupted, and I know it's, you know what I mean.
But it is.
I know.
So it falls on us, being the Christians, to pray for these people,
right,
that they will wake up one day and make the right choice on doing whatever's right for the people, not for their sakes, not for their political careers, because that's what a lot of them do. They make choices based on their political careers.
To be honest with you, I don't think that's ever going to change.
Just like,
but yeah, I will pray. I will pray for it.
Yeah, you pray for them still.
Yep,
yeah, you pray for them still.
Yep.
Because maybe one day they'll have a moment of clarity on an issue that we need them to be clear on. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like whenever there's somebody that tries to make a difference, they get taken out. That's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
They get taken out.
Yeah.
And that's yeah.
I believe
so.
It.
I know a few presidents, a few people that that try to change the world for the better. And, they were taken out.
And they're still getting hated.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still getting hated on. To this day, they're still getting hated on.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's another.
But people don't see change, and they don't see growth the same way. And that's because of all of the choices that we make. That's because of the choices and the options that we can see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were raised in one part of the country, you don't see the same set of options that everybody else does. That's just how your brain has developed. You see it this way, and somebody else might see it this way. It's not that we're seeing it wrong. It's just that we have different point of views and angles of the same situation.
Right.
Now, if we can just agree that we have different point of views, we could take the best parts of all those points of view that'll benefit everybody and put them together and do something like constructive, instead of hitting each other in the face with bricks all the time. Like, that is not getting us anywhere. But this two-party system, which we should get rid of, all these old people up here running political offices when we should have young people in here who are in the systems that they're dealing with. Like, all these old people running parties, like, we should put more younger people who have great ideas about the country and who want to do the country right into places of power so that they can do these things. But no, it's money, it's control, it's whatever corporation wants whatever thing passed, they pay for it. And it gets passed, regardless of whether it's good or not.
What would you think if Steve Furtick was president?
Oh, nah, people would hate it. People would hate it. There's already a group of people online that don't like him as is.
I'm pretty sure.
And in some cases, I get it. In some cases, I get it. They don't understand the way he teaches, and the way he teaches is off to them. I get it. But I don't think they let him last either. Especially, and you're talking about a Christian pastor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine like
No,
a lot of
nope.
the people who are in power are like Christians, like true believers. Like
They claim to be. A lot of them claim to be. A lot of them claim to be. If you talk to Republicans, all the Republicans are saved. All of them are, you know, blood-bought Christians who believe in Jesus and will go, you know, die for the faith. If you ask them, they ain't. They're not.
it's because
You know what I'm saying? Same thing for the liberals.
They don't run things.
I don't believe any of the politicians run anything.
Yeah, like the president.
I really don't. I'm not going into
he doesn't run
conspiracies,
things.
but
That's why like I don't. That's why
yeah,
like in reality, like I don't like people be blaming the president. I'll be like, I'm not blaming him. He doesn't. I'm sorry. I don't believe he makes decisions.
yeah, he's the face of whatever the decision
Right.
is. Like he's the face.
So
if
somebody needs to be blamed, it's him.
It's him, and then people attack him without going towards the real source, and the real source is in the background somewhere. I just believe the person with the most money or the corporation with the most money gets to do what they want to do.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Money is power.
Because money is power. Money is power. That's what I believe. And whoever has the most money can make up the rules.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist person, but I just don't trust people in power that have a lot of power.
Yeah, some of them.
I just don't. When that secret tape of Trump came out and he was talking about grabbing females, I believe that was him.
Yeah, I believe that was him.
A lot of people don't think that that's him. Oh, they doctored the tape, and if you said that today, I'd be like, yeah, because they can do AI to make up stuff. But when that tape was recorded, we didn't have that technology.
Yeah, that's when he was younger.
Yeah. We didn't have that technology. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, they recorded him on an old fashioned, like one of them recorders with the little tape in it, like you see in the old spy movies or whatever. They did that. They had the little cassette tape. They recorded that jank. They put a bug in the room, and that's how they caught him talking like that. And I believe that's what he thinks to this day. I still feel like he does that. They asked him one time what his favorite Bible verse was. I ain't trying to rag on Trump, but they asked him what his favorite Bible verse was, and he was like, that's a private matter. That's not something that you share. The whole gospel is based on sharing.
Yeah.
You're supposed to share it. That would have been a perfect time for you to share you're supposed to share your Bible verse. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your favorite Bible verse? You're supposed to share.
He said that's private. Voting and
it's a private matter. You're not supposed to talk about that kind of. No, it's not.
Yeah, you're wilding.
No, it's not.
See, it's stuff like that. You're like, come on, stop it.
Right. That makes me think like, okay, like I could be on board with you, but you crazy. You don't even know what you're talking about. So I can't get on board with that.
You definitely don't read the Bible.
And that's not the only time he's done something with a Bible that was weird to me. He took a photo across the street from a church, right? He shoots some people off the property so that he could take the photo. Then he was holding a Bible and he was holding the Bible upside down.
Oh.
It's not even like he was holding the Bible properly. He took the photo. He was holding it upside down. So it tells me it doesn't even matter, if he's even holding the book properly. He's just, grip that Bible as strongly as you can and put that smile on, and people will believe it. And that's exactly what happens. People will believe it. I just don't trust any politician. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. If they make a law and they make a rule, if I have to adhere to it, I'll adhere to it. But I don't trust them. I don't trust them to do what's best for their people. I don't trust them to be good. I don't trust them to be moral. I don't.
Yeah.
And we need to do away with two-party systems. It's outdated and it's old. It's a relic and it needs to go. But hey, whatever. They're going to keep chugging along at the same pace they've been chugging along at for the last 30 years. If it worked for my grandpa, then it'll work for my grandkids, which is a stupid way to see things.
We need change, y'all. We need change.
We need change. And we need to realize that it was us. Men need to stand up and be like, you know what? It was my fault.
Yeah.
It was my fault that we fell. It was Adam. It was on Adam. Adam was supposed to lead. He was here first. It was on him to lead, and he could not be the leader that he was supposed to. And that's why most households fall by the wayside anyway.
Yeah.
Because the parents don't want to do what they're supposed to, and the father is not present, or he ain't doing what he's supposed to. So I refuse to be one of those dads who does that. I refuse to be that kind of man. If I make a mistake, I'm gonna suck it up. If it's legitly my fault, then there's nothing else I can say about it. I have to take the L. If there's other circumstances and it wasn't my fault, then it wasn't my fault. But if it's on me, it's on me. So that's just how that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys. That is going to wrap us up for this edition of the Faded Podcast. We will see y'all next Sunday, or this Sunday. We'll see y'all this Sunday, and we'll be back on. All right. Go ahead, drop a like, a comment, all those great things. I don't want to sit here and talk about likes and comments all the time, because that's not why we do this. But we do appreciate it. You know what I mean? We do appreciate hearing from you guys. We do appreciate you guys interacting with us, whether it be on our social medias, Hectic's game page, whether it be on TikTok, whatever the case may be. We like to engage with you guys, and we're grateful that you guys listen and share. All right. So, as always, I say it every time, so you know it's coming. Isaiah 30:21. This is the way. Walk in it.
Yeah.
Take care. Until next time, guys.
Late.
We'll talk to you. Be good.